Good morning, friends. Good morning, and welcome to my YouTube channel of Astrologer Anil Aggarwal. Today, I would like to share my experiences with three astrology stalwarts, which pumped in passion for astrology in me. See, I will tell you, it's very amazing that this coronavirus could not be predicted by most of the astrologers. This speaks very bad about astrology. Who are these stalwarts? They never predicted this. The stalwarts, sorry, I'm not talking about the stalwarts, but most of the renowned astrologers, they did not predict this coronavirus. What does this speak of? This speaks very bad about astrology. The reason is that most of the astrologers are busy minting money. They are not interested in the research. They are not interested in any work, extra work, or finding out other ways and methods to reach the fineness. So I will share my experiences. The principle, you see, predictions depend. Mundane predictions depend upon other methods. It's not similar to the natal predictions. We have different parameters. The principles of Hardev Sharma Trivedi ji, who was the astrologer of the president at the time of partition, who had suggested the Muhurat of 12 o'clock at night to take independence at that time. I follow him as far as the mundane predictions are concerned. Hardev Sharma Trivedi ji, he was a close contact with my father, and I knew him since 1966 when my father was posted as chief engineer in Himachal Pradesh. And one fine day, he had gone to him and he showed his horoscope to him. He told him that if this horoscope belongs to you, you are the topmost government official of Solan. So first he denied, but then later on he agreed and he gave certain other predictions which turned 100% correct. So I met him in July, since he was a close acquaintance of my father. Whenever he used to come to Delhi, he used to come to our house. But in July 1983, he had predicted a fake case against me, and he told my father, just go home, and there's a bad news. And I had received summons from Bombay in a fake case. This was predicted by him, and he told my father that the case will be quashed the very same day, just looking at my horoscope and the Prashna chart, and will be quashed the same day. And his predictions turned 100% correct. It's very difficult for a criminal case to be quashed the same very day. And he had the guts and he had the knowledge to predict that the case will be quashed the very same day. This left a deep impression about astrology predictions, which were later authenticated by Pandit Narayan of Kilokri, Maharani Bagh, who had after my father took me in. This happened in 1983, this fake case, and in 1986 February, my father took me to an astrologer whose name is Pandit Narayan in Kilokri, and who had predicted that I'll be visiting 5 countries in December 1986. I challenged him that I challenged him, and I said, let me see, if I have a passport, I'll tear it off, and let me see that if I have to go abroad, then let me see how things will shape. I challenged him, and that I would not get my passport made, and if I have a passport, I will tear it off. Most amazingly, my passport was made on my official seat. You see, I was working as a deputy purchase manager in Escorts Limited in the motorcycle division. And, my brother-in-law, he happened to come from Canada, and we had all gone to Bhatkal for just merrymaking. And there, because we were having, snacks, and we were having, in those days, we used to keep the crate of cold drinks on the car, then have sip cold drinks and have snacks and dance openly. So the local SHO was there and he said, you cannot do in a public place. So he had challaned and he had taken the license and the car papers of my brother-in-law. Now, since I was in Faridabad, my brother-in-law told me to take care of it. Since I was looking after the industries, I had very good contacts, and within a day or so, the challan was cancelled and the papers were given back to me. Then later, this SHO came to know that I had very good contacts in the industry because I looked after an industry for procurement of motorcycle components. So he came to me and requested if I could help him uh, for his son getting a job. So you see, I had contacted this gentleman, the police, through a industrialist, who is the top industrialist of Faridabad, and I told him that this man seems to be genuine. Why don't you help his son and get him some petty contractor job? And it was done in a day or so. And this man came back to me just to thank me. And then he told me that if I had a passport, I said, no, I don't have a passport and I don't want to get it made because I have challenged an astrologer. He said, no, uh, you have to get your passport made. And I was amazed how nature is forcing me to get my passport made. Later, everything was done. It's a question of minutes when a SHO of the city is interested in getting the things done, and who is the passport officer. He called all the people. The photographer was there, the person with the affidavit was there, and all those things were completed just within a few hours. And he also took my consent for you know consent for sending the passport. And then within few days I got my passport. I went running to this astrologer and I touched his feet, and I felt sorry about it, that I had said I did not believe him. Now these two happenings left a very heavy impression on my mind, and I thought that whenever I get chance in my life, I would definitely master this science. As he had predicted, I had gone abroad on 7th December 1986. I was really amazed. He had told me certain few things. When I will be abroad, there will be a 7 feet table and I will be served with beer and black grapes. And it so happened. And I was really amazed. And it left a very deep impression on my mind as far as astrology is concerned. So whenever I used to have time, I used to go to this man and sit with him on Sundays. And all his clients who used to come, I used to look at their horoscopes and tell Panditji which particular planet is placed there and what is the dasha and all that. So that I kept on doing it till I was relatively free. And then, really what happened that as before I was to go to Japan, as he had said that I would be visiting 5 countries in East. I had a tiff with my CEO and I resigned. And I then went to this industrialist, the top industrialist, who was a good friend and a well-wisher, that what should I do now? I've left the job and I want to start off something of my own. Without telling me, he took me to Maruti Udyog Limited. He had a joint venture sanctioned for making the body of the sheet metal of the Maruti. And he did not disclose that he was taking me for an interview. And I thought it was just a matter of discussion. And after that discussion, I was appointed as the general manager for the project. So all this left a very deep, uh, impression about astrology. That astrology is really a science, but you have to really master it. So these two people, left a mind. And then in 2007, I took it up when I was relatively free from my profession. I started this Jyotish Alankar and Acharya from Bharti Vidya Bhavan under the guidance of Mr. K. N. Rao. Not knowing I that there could be some advanced courses also in astrology. I did Jyotish, Alankar, and Acharya 3 times each. I spent 6 years instead of 2 years, and I did research for 2 years, where when I was also awarded the best award for research. So, and then, because I was deeply interested in astrology, I also used to go to nakshatra exhibitions in the exhibition ground. And you will be amazed that not even a single astrologer could tell what was happening in my life. So I was, and there it was just like a fish market, as if everybody was trying to sell his fish, whether it was good or bad. So I got an impression that these people who are doing astrology, who are professionals, they are not interested in research. They are only because it is their bread and butter. They don't have time for research. So that is the limitation they are having. So I kept in mind that even if I become a professional astrologer, I must devote on research, and especially on the mundane. Nobody writes on mundane because nobody is paid for writing on mundane subject and about the world. And you can see it for yourself that in September, on 17th September 2019, I had written about the solar eclipse of the 26th December 2019, and I had predicted that China, since this eclipse is taking place in the 12th house over the 12th lord Jupiter, which is fallen, and the 22nd Reshkon, and Ketu and Dasha of Mercury, who is being eclipsed by Ketu, the disease Karka, and at the time of eclipse also, Mercury is with Ketu, and Mercury is in Gandanta. It's also the Yoga Lord. The 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 disease, the virus, will come from China, because the nakshatra was Mula, and Mula is also signifies violent things and virulent virus. So that's about all, friends. And I also contacted before getting into astrology. I must have gone to 10, 20 astrologers. One of the for my son, I had gone to an astrologer. I don't want to name him. And my son had got an offer. He was working in Dubai, and he had got an offer from Singapore. And this renowned astrologer, told me that he should continue in Dubai. He will get a promotion there. But whatever little knowledge I had, I was not very much convinced, and I told my son to shift to Singapore. Singapore, he did extremely well, whereas the office in Dubai was closed just in a question of 4 to 5 months. So all this type of predictions, it leaves a very bad impression about astrology. It clearly shows that those people who are even renowned, they don't do any research. And until unless the research is done, you cannot reach perfections. And for this reason, it is absolutely clear that, or it is not that they cannot do it, but everybody is in the rush of making money. And because they are in the rush of making money, they are not able to see the mundane. Mundane is different. Until unless an astrologer is well acquainted with the mundane activities, the mundane astrology, he cannot predict good about the natal birth charts. I remember January 2020, all the astrologers said this year is going to be very good. Where are those astrologers now? It's very bad. One should uh, uh, if you are into natal astrology, you must also study mundane astrology. Mundane astrology is controls the world, the mundane activities. So that's about all, friends. This is what I wanted to convey, and I'm very much thankful to three stalwarts. One, Hardesh Sharma Trivedi ji. I follow his mundane. I follow everything according to mundane predictions. I've used Kota Chakar. I use Kurma Chakar. I've used Rashi Sangata Chakar, Rudramsha chart, all as per what he has specified in the book for mundane astrology. Then I also follow Shri K. N. Rao ji. He is extremely good for mundane and I follow his research, the theory of inevitability, and it proves absolutely 100% when the eclipses take place, what could happen. So, and my guru Ganesh ji, whom I appreciate, and now whatever I have learned as far as the natal and prashna Jyotish is totally by him, and whatever skills I have, they have been inculcated by him. So while thanking all of them, I salute them, that such type of people, they take astrology to a very higher level. And I suggest the other astrologers also who are into practice to do research, and before making the natal predictions, they should also see the mundane part. If mundane part is not good, if you are predicting somebody to get a promotion and he is in US and US is going to face a recession, how will he get a promotion? How will he, is there is coronavirus, how will that promotion become practical? So the point is that mundane astrology should be given due course, due importance, due strength to before giving the prediction on the natal chart or any prashna chart. So that's about all, friends. This is what I wanted to share. And those people whose bread and butter is astrology, they can never be, I don't say they cannot be, they can be, but until unless the passion is there in astrology, the passion to go in depth. And every time you go in depth, you go inside the ocean, you bring a pearl, and that pearl, that tool works amazing in astrology. So that's about all, friends. Astrology is a very vast subject. I don't say that I'm now a master. Even if I spend 150 years, you know, I may not be perfect, and I want the rest of my, I'm over 60, and after 60 years I decided, since it is a one plus uh, time, to learn astrology and to teach astrology. And I hope my cherished desires are fulfilled in the rest part of my span of life. With that, friends, I would say thank you for listening to me, and have a great day. And I wish this coronavirus, we are out of the woes of coronavirus as early as possible, as predicted by me. Uh, if we talk about the time frame, then 27th of July onwards would be, things would start taking a better shape, and after 22nd of August, and then 20th of September, and then when Saturn and Jupiter are out of Nigda Dreshmun, Saturn will be out of Nigda Dreshmun on the 25th of January, and Jupiter will be out of Nigda Dreshmun on the 5th of January. Then we expect things to be coming back to normal. But mind you, the after effects of coronavirus will be felt for one complete year, and only after 18th of February 2022 will be out of the woes of coronavirus. I don't want to say anything about the other planetary positions. I'm just talking about the coronavirus effects. They will be over. I don't say that the other effects will not be there. The other transitory positions definitely dictate the other part of it. But as far as the woes of coronavirus are concerned, we'll be out after the 18th February 2022 as per the Kota Chakra. Mind you, Kota Chakra is just like a fort, and the Kot Pal is the owner of the fort, and the Kot Pal is the guard of the fort, and Kot Swami is the owner. They should be in their respective place. And after 18th of February, both will be in the respective place after a very long time. So it clearly shows that the woes of coronavirus will be for long. But my dear friends, after January, after July and August, we will definitely feel that the things are easing. So with this, best of luck, friends. Take care, and bye bye.